the light up and going. Let's see here. So I'm gonna get everything situated, but in the meanwhile, let me do what I was doing. But I have some news for you guys. So yeah, well, I'll just show you guys. So I'm a big reader. I like reading and everything. So someone donated all this, all this. Someone donated this to me, and I'll show you guys what's inside of it in a minute. So let me go get my drink, which is not nothing bad. It's just some coffee, my favorite in the world. I was actually making some dinner, but I decided to come up on YouNow and show you guys. But in the meantime, let me just show you guys what's been donated to me, and I can't wait to start reading them. So I got a whole lot of good stuff. And, oh man, this is gonna take me probably about a couple of months, but I'll show you guys what it is. Wow, so many books here. So let me slide back to show you guys. Oh my god, really? My bad. But yeah, let me show you guys. Look at all this. I can just do from like sideways. If I can do this, I have big hands, so let me see if I can do this with my big hands. Turn it that way, turn it this way, and without dropping them, I have big hands, so look at all this. Look at all these books, man. You see all these books? These books are, look at all these books. These were all donated. All donated. And I will go over the names with you guys in a minute, and I'll show you guys what it is. Hopefully my battery is not gonna run out. But yeah, you guys take a look at all this, and I'll be right back. I am making some dinner, so bear with me. All right, my bad. Like I said, I'm actually making dinner, but I want to show you guys everything, all these books that was donated to me. All these books. All right. So, um, so yeah, I'll show you guys one by one what these books are, the name of it, and the amazing donation that someone gave me. Hey, everybody. All right. So these are like amazing books, and it's gonna probably take me a long time to read these books. However, um, the books are all here, meaning that they have no pages ripped out of, and I'll show you guys what they are. Okay, so um, let's start with this one. This one here is Hunting Rachel, and this is by Kay Hooper, and it is a novel. And it seems like it's pretty. Let's see what the back says. 10 years, Rachel, fiance Thomas disappeared. His body was never found. There you go. There is one of the books that was donated. So let's see. A man who could be Thomas' twin or his ghost. His name is Adam, and he's been watching Rachel for days. He has a lock she gave Thomas before he vanished, and he says he owes her father $3 million. So they're saying that the author of this book, Milwaukee Journal, is a master storyteller. So here's one book. Hopefully, this book is very scary. All right. Let's see. This book is by Karen Robads, and it's called Shadow or Scattered. Sometimes you shouldn't disturb the past. So this is another book that was given. Let's see. Aspiring author Lisa Grant has headed back to Kentucky farm she called home to care for her ailing mother. She's also taken a research job pulling cold case files with a DA, Scott, a former crush. Then Lisa comes across one of the frozen, one that freezes her blood. More than 28 years ago, an entire family disappeared. Everybody's disappearing. All right. So that's one by Karen. This one's by Kay. This one here, The Loving Daylights. This looks like it's gonna be good. This is by Lindsay Sands, and The Loving Daylights. It's a contemporary romance from the bestseller author, and it's a novel. Let's see. Shy Jane love gadgets. She can build anything. I wish I can build something. We all could build something, you know. So let's see. So she's a spy, and she's been building. She's built anything BLISS. I don't know what that is. Needs to international organization to fight against crime. Although its agents aren't exactly lined up at her door, some of them think her inventions are a little too well, and like her shrink wrap contains or her spray of truth spectrum. Of course, you can't use wacky inventions to fix all your problems. So this one is U.S. Today bestseller author. Let's see here. Fatal Tie. This is by Iris Johansson, and takes you to the edge of suspense. The secret run deadly, the danger runs deep. And this book might be the first book that I might start on. It says Marine Resource, Mel's is trending dangerous waters and she's about to be dragged under. It says Mel knows something that has already caused one oceanographer to disappear from the face of the earth. Part of the past torn by and betrayed. She thought she had put the past behind her when she arrived at her Caribbean island home to research the doctor's behavior. But her peace and her life are about to be scattered by a savage killer who is path of destruction and death that leads directly to her. Whoever is after her knows her intentionally, and soon she will be forced to relieve them all over again, except from the final nightmare, the one she can possibly survive. Seems like it's gonna be good. Let's see. Cat Martin again. This is another book that was another donation book. It's New York Times bestseller. Secrets and Safety Melt Under a Moonlight Sun. Let's see. Liv is running for her life, and the cops haven't been able to do anything to help. But there's one man who makes her feel safe no matter what. Rudder boat captain Ralph. To Ralph, Liv is beautiful mystery. One he cannot imagine. He means to unearth her secrets and then possess. If Lucky is on his side, maybe between them will unite. So yeah, so I received all these books here. There is so many books here. Let's see, I'll just go. This one's Be Afraid. Okay. This one is Finding Laura. This one is Shadowfall. Okay. This one is another one by Cat Martin. This is Against the Sky. Power Play, Catherine. Kay Hooper, After Caroline. Nancy Bush, Nowhere to Hide. Iris Johansson, Deadlock. Elizabeth. Wow, these are some good books, man. Sandra Brown, Low Pressure. And Julian Garwood, Seas. And Lauren Griffin again, Beyond Limits. There was another book in here. I wasn't really sure, but it's called Highline. And I was actually opening it up to see what this was all about. It is explaining about train that was that's a train track that's in New York City, and apparently they wanted to. These are all the people who worked on this project, and this is actually what it looks like now. Let's see, it's like a walkway, like people sit down on the benches and everything. They can walk. And it was originally a train track in New York. So check it out. I'm not really sure why I didn't go under Omega Studio News, but here's what it looks like then. And this is a pretty long track. So let's see, the inside story of New York City's Park in the Sky. I think that's like the I think that's like the it was it actually mm, actually, do you see that green line all here? That's actually how long this is. It's very, very long. And it was a train track, and they didn't really know what to do with it, so they decided to turn it into like a park walkway. And all these people actually stepped in, which was up here. All these people right here stepped in. Let me go back to them to give them some recognition. Actually, that's what it looks like now. This right here. I think. Oh, it shows you here. Let's see. This is what it looked like back in 1847. 1847. This right here. That wasn't even thought about. I don't think anything in this room was even born. And then they said that this was how they transported the trains back then, because it was going through the streets, and then people were getting hit and they weren't moving out of the way. So they needed a horse and guide them before, so people won't get hit and cars won't be, getting smashed by it. Check it out. This is how it looked before. Well, they wanted to look like this, but it doesn't look nothing like that now. Yes, I did look at this book before I showed you guys, so I know some of it. But I do want to show you guys, there's another, what it looked like before. That's what it looked like. That was the railway. And then they turned. Oh, this is what it looks like when they didn't have the money and there was no one working on it. This is it looked like, the grass growing, the leaves growing, and everything. And people are pretty much hoping for a future here for the island. And they got it, because it's actually I'm running right now. There's a snowy picture right there. A snowy picture of what it really looks like. That was a railroad track. And I'm sure pretty much those buildings in the background are pretty much gone. And some graphics and stuff. Cartoons. But yeah, so oh yeah, look, they even thought about even wanting to put a roller coaster up there like that. That's not real. That's just what someone put there. Because they would have added, that roller coaster would have went up and over and off the cliff. But yeah, it's really amazing to see this, and how everybody decide to want to, make it, There's a couple of people. Hey, there's Hillary Clinton right there. Hillary Clinton, former president of the United States. I know some of these people. This looks like Bloomberg. And that looks like Schumer. I don't even know who that woman is. So, but it tells you who it is up here. Commissioner, Congresswoman. Yeah, can't really read upside down. They had other. And they say that this thing stretches, the high line stretches blocks after blocks after blocks. It also tells you blocks after blocks, right? So yeah, this is another book added to yeah, people can like sit on. But yeah, these are like all the books that was donated to me. Let's cover my face, okay? So these are like all the books that was donated to me. Let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. actually 19 books donated to me. And I'm so excited because I will read every single last one of these books because they were donated to me and someone took the time out to want to donate these books to me so I can read it. And then once when I finish these books, I'm going to go ahead and donate it to the library. Look at all those wonderful books. Let's see, let me just slide it back like this. All these wonderful books that was donated by somebody who wanted somebody else to read. You know? And I'm gonna read every single last one of these books. I mean, how I'm gonna read it, when I'm gonna read it, I don't really know. But I am working on one book right now. Let me see. Let me get the one book that I am reading before I start reading all those other books. Pick this up. All right. This is the book that I'm reading right now, and it's called The Committee. And I'm actually, let's see. This is a book from a library. What chapter is this I'm on? I know I'm somewhere up there. Yeah, chapter 7. So yeah, this is a really good book here. I try to stay reading because I know reading is fundamental, and I know reading is what keeps the brain more sharpened. Even though all the words, when someone reads the words, you can actually go or you can go to word pronunciation on on the app, and type in a word that you would like to say in different languages. There is an app called Pronunciation, and you can just put the word in. It can say it in all different types of languages. You can even write a paragraph in there or a letter and press play, and it will read it back to you in whatever language that you would like to hear it in. And what I like about that app too is that if you're going somewhere, like say for instance you're going to Japan and you want to put it's almost like Google Translator, but it's not. It's pronunciation. It helps pronunciation of word, but in the same way, it gives you all whatever you want to pronounce. So if you want to pronounce something or say something to a Japanese person or a China person, a Korean person, and you want to speak their language, all you got to do is just put that in there, and then they can they can listen to, because it will speak the language that you put. So yeah, sometimes I may have trouble pronouncing words. You know, I even had trouble pronouncing words on saying some of these titles or whatever. But it's nothing wrong with that. You know, I'm not ashamed of that, and nobody shouldn't be ashamed of pronouncing words. You know, if you can't pronounce it, you can't pronounce it. You understand? But if you would like to know that word, you can look it up, and you can pronounce it, and then you can pronounce it. But yeah, so this is a book. So I'm finished this book. Start with one of these books. Okay. Also, I would like to tell you guys about the app that you guys can download from the App Store. And Episode is another app that allows you to read some books that people are writing in a story, but you can also view the books too. You can also view the books too. And also, you can actually make your own book. When I say make your own book, come actually set up like forms and stuff. You can set up directing, casting, lighting, clothing, characters, like filming your own movie. So is in the app. You can purchase it from the Google Store for free, and you can get it on the iStore for Apple. Very great way of writing your own story and getting people out there to read your story. You can make it drama, you can make it love, story, romance, mystery, whichever one. I'm working on a story up there. It's called Reporter, and it's a lot because you have to you do directing, you do casting, you do writing, you have to pan in, pan out. It's a whole lot that will help you get into writing and getting you to start your own little thing. So I'm starting Reporter, and reporter is still in the making. Uh, it's it's something like where everybody gets together. Like you can have multiple people writing this story for you, and you can get multiple people to do like clothing, do the characters. You got people the scenery because it's the background scenery. It's exterior and internal. So you can do either one, day or night. So that's something that is really interesting to do. So episode, go look at the app. If you don't want to download the app, go to YouTube. That's what I always do. I always go to YouTube if I want to look at something or if I want to read something or if I want to know about something. I go to YouTube, and you can type in the word episode, and on there it will come out and it will show you everything about what I'm talking about. And if you're interested in it and you see that the videos is fit for you and you see that you would like to write a story and get millions of people to read it, watch it, and play it at the same time, download the app episode. Okay? So, like I said, I was in the middle of making some dinner. I had stopped to talk about this donation that someone had decided to give me, and I think I know why this person gave me these books. Because usually, like when I have a book and I'm walking in the street, I'm like this. I'm like walking literally like. I'm in a park, literally like this. So, and I do recall someone asking me like, what book am I reading? And I think at that time I was reading Players Club, not the Players Club, the movie, but I was reading it, and they had asked me what chapter you on, and I told them what chapter I was on. Then I went back and I came back, and it was still outside. It was like, well, what chapter you on now? So I'm on the same chapter. It's a pretty long chapter, but I'm still reading. And that wasn't the person who donated the books to me. The person who donated the books to me, I think I've seen this person one time before, but yeah, person just came up with a bag. Hey, I got some books here. You might be interested in it. I'm going to throw them away, but I want to donate them to you. And then if you want to, you can feel free to dispose them how you would like to. And I want to donate these books to the library. It's almost just like this one, to the library, and get people to read it, because there's a lot of people that's out there that likes reading books. And also, like before you go to bed, you can read a book. If you want to have a cool dream, it's always good to read. Free time is always good to read. If someone's peer pressuring you into smoking weed or doing any type of drugs or anything, or smoking cigarettes, or want to drink some beer or whatever, pull out a book. Read a book. Okay, if you're at school and you need, it's lunchtime or between periods, and you don't have anything to do before you go to your locker, read a book. Read books. If you're on the bus and you're going home and you don't have your headphones because you forgot them and you want to get into some fiction, read a book. Read a book. Okay? If you want to, if you're on the train and you're on an airplane or you're in a car and you're not driving and you are bored, read a book. Read a book. Okay? And what else? That's pretty much it. Just read a book. They say the mind is a terrible thing to waste. Read a book. That's the end of this YouNow. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for participating. Please fan the page, okay? I'll leave you guys with this. Holla!